Hello and welcome back, everyone, to Bloodstained Ritual of the Night, hard mode fresh on Rocket Rabbit Commentaries. And in this episode, we'll be continuing on through Tower of the Twin Dragons, except no, we will not, because, alright, I absolutely need to show off this part specifically for exactly one reason. I've complained a bunch of times already in this playthrough about how hard mode has got a lot of really weird intricacies going through it, especially on a fresh save file, where you are expected to you're expected to know and do a bunch of rather specific things. This is one of those things that I'm doing in order to make my life a bit easier later on, but I needed to show this off because of how poorly this part actually goes. Also, we get, where is it? JoJo pose! Haha! It's difficult to see behind the elevator crate, but yes, Miriam has a JoJo pose if you press and hold up long enough on the D-pad.
Well, where does the name JoJo pose come from?
JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. The artist for JoJo's Bizarre Adventure specifically has got a bunch of character poses that are famous for both Dio Brando and I do believe Joseph Joestar and Jotaro on the covers get very specific poses as well. I have not actually watched or read any of JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, but it's a good thing that we decided to bring up for this part because, yeah, this part, we're going to be grinding in exactly one room for the entire fucking part. I'm sorry, guys, but I needed to show off how poorly this goes. We do get this little bit of story, well, rather, progression, though, where by bringing Dominique the Silver Bromide, we are allowed to participate in 19th century photography.
The bromide I need. I have that right here. Then let's make some photographs.
Are you familiar with the 19th century photography, Mr.
Well, that you had to stand still for like I don't know, 20 minutes while the image was getting set. Oh yeah, don't hold your breath, Miriam.
You can breathe now. Finally. All finished. You can move around if you want.
Yay!
I just want
one photograph.
I just wanted to take a picture of you so I'll know how lovely your corpse will be.
Strange.
And so we have gotten the identification item. We need to bring this over to OD in order to get on to the next step, the next major section. This is actually a part that a lot of people have problems with, so I need to explain what exactly is going on. There is an area that we've not yet been to called the Bridge of Evil, and the Bridge of Evil is the obligatory train section that got lifted from Curse of the Moon. But in order to get onto the obligatory train station that got lifted from Curse of the Moon, there is a, well, relatively high security train gate in the way. And in order to access it, we have to use, well, OD.
OD, you seem to know a lot.
Yeah, so
it's odd that Miriam already knows about the train since we've not yet been in there, but yeah.
Why would you want to?
Because
your voice is not as deep as I thought it was.
Pass through the station gate. I could give you mine.
Really?
But the credentials must carry your photograph.
Dun dun dun.
My what?
That's right. Your kind hasn't invented photography yet.
Indoor plumbing. It's gonna be big.
If anyone has come close.
Now, thankfully, we do have indoor plumbing at this point, but you know, it's still in its relatively infant stages during the 19th century, right?
Oh, a photograph! I have one of those.
When was plumbing invented?
Oh no, plumbing was invented much longer ago. It's just that we didn't get indoor plumbing until the early 19th century.
You're quite the avid reader.
Also, whilst we're here, we're going to expand OD's library because we've got about 60% of the map cleared. He'll actually allow us to earn out a second book. We're going to take the Fortune Tome because, yeah, we want the additional luck.
You know it's a Capcom game when you see game features that also were in Dead Rising.
Return what you borrow. This is a library.
Now, did Dead Rising also allow you to expand the library by exploring the map?
Well, it was not so much a library from which you're picking out books from a menu. You are taking books from the environment that will occupy spaces in your inventory, and while holding said items, you enjoy bonuses to your photography scores or the damage you deal with certain types of weapons, for instance.
The thing is that we've had that kind of system in action RPGs forever. Diablo 2 has it with charms, actually.
Read books.
Okay, so we need pizza dough and cheese. And for cheese, we need milk and Renee. What about...
red bean paste. Delicious.
So what do we need for pizza dough? Oh, we're not going to show off what we need for pizza dough yet.
Salt. You need flour. Baking soda. I think you need baking soda. Baking soda is one of those things that it seems to coincide a lot with, well, baking specifically, hence it's in the fucking name. Causes a chemical reaction. Yes, a very interesting and scientific release of gases from the dough while it is cooking and rising. Yes, that's a thing.
Johannes, it's not your job to teach Miriam how to do the crystal corruption stuff.
Oh, we've been getting a wonderful crash course in crystal corruption, getting stabbed by crystals every time we take out a strong foe.
The book has the power to summon good spirits.
But demons are not good spirits.
Power is power. If you can summon good spirits, then all it takes is some change.
This particular plot point I have a small issue with, because why would Enochian script allow you to summon demons? Like, I understand it's a perversion of Enochian script that allows the summoning of demons, but at the same point, why would demons respond to a perversion of Enochian script?
Are you eating properly? So,
sounds like the difference between the Aedra and the Daedra in the Elder Scrolls series. They're both magical entities that can do pretty extraordinary things in Mundus. Just the difference is, I guess overall, what are their intentions? Are they necessary? Well, I mean, the Daedra also are not necessarily evil either. Sometimes they just want to fuck with people.
Yeah. For example, the Daedra of Chaos for the Shimmering Isles expansion is mostly just there as a focal point for you to explore the area and help him resolve his problem of being split in two.
I enjoyed that DLC very much, the Shivering Isles.
Are you eating properly? So, what'll it do? Did you see the Eastern Man in the red?
Going through the script stuff.
Supply post.
You mean Zangetsu? Be careful around that one.
Yeah, he's got a very sharp katana. We lost to it multiple times.
And alchemists are as bad as demons. He said he'd cut us down if he saw us again.
Yeah, and he has many times in game overtakes.
But I agree.
They were very painful.
Those scars on his body tell the story of a rough life.
And if you want the story of that rough life, you can go play Curse of the Moon 1 and 2. Haha! Because Zangetsu is the main character in those.
If you look closely at his forehead, you can see the dent where the controller landed after we threw it at him.
Hi, Miriam.
So, you said we were spending most of this part in Grinding Town, and I see that we are more than halfway through the episode, but we haven't done any grinding yet.
Really?
Yeah, I'm a bit perplexed because I know that this part is this part is supposed to have the most of the grinding episode, but it looks like we're actually doing exposition this episode.
This is why I review parts by scrolling through them on my bar so that I know the content we're seeing beforehand. It's okay though, I love surprises.
And I shouted, "How long are you going to pretend you're human? We're monsters now."
This particular cutscene, this particular script is actually extremely important for what happens later. But like, the promise that Miriam makes to Jebel is the crux of her character and motivation throughout the entire thing. And the thing is,
She had no idea.
This is actually stupid easy to miss because you don't actually need to talk to Johannes on normal mode for most of the fucking game. You end up coming back to Johannes to get shard improvements on hard mode quite a bit, certainly. So you're likely to run into this. But it takes so long for the script to advance to this particular segment.
Well, I mean, you can skip the scene entirely by hitting the triple line button.
It's the options button, Cloud. Come on, you know that.
Not all options buttons are made equal, I'm afraid. That sometimes it's
yeah, because on the PlayStation 2 it would have been the select button.
It would have, wouldn't it?
Yep.
On PS4, it might be the... I mean, actually, no, there is just an options button on your PS4 controller. It actually says the word options on it. N64 would have been the big red start button in the center of the controller. Sega Genesis, it would have been right next to the... actually, I can't remember if it said start on it.
Alright, welcome to Grinding Town, everybody. We are here for specifically, we don't honestly need the Alcahest at this point, although they're very nice to farm up here. What we are actually here for is the Shield Outsiders drop the Sinister Skull. And the reason why is because we need, what is it, 3? Yeah, we need 3 Sinister Skulls in order to push Inferno Breath into its next significant power level. And that's what we're doing for the rest of this part. We're farming on the we're farming on the Shield Outsider here. This is partially why we end up with a mostly maxed out Welcome Company as well, because Welcome Company actually has got a relatively common drop rate, and we also end up with a couple of additional ranks in Directed Shield, which will be important later, but not necessarily all that much right now. Leveling up in hard mode is valuable, but not as valuable as it's supposed to be. You get a little bit of HP, you get a little bit of MP, you get a little bit of strength, you know. But you'll notice that it doesn't even look like we got any additional strength on that particular level up. So, yeah. I wanted to show off us grinding specifically because this is something that I always have to do when I go through on hard mode. I have to do this farming session in order to get the Sinister Skulls from the Shield Outsider. And if I don't do this, I straight up cannot finish the rest of the game. Now, it is definitely possible to go through the hard mode without doing this grinding session, but I'm not skilled enough to do it.
It takes a lot of practice.
The thing is, we're not grinding for experience, we're grinding for shard power. And it's one of the weird things about the narrative, because we get warned by both Dominique and Johannes relatively early on that amassing a large amount of shard power is going to be detrimental to us. And yet, not only are we not punished for doing so, it is straight up required for me to actually be able to finish the game. I cannot take down several of the bosses without the power-up that we're grinding for right here.
So, just as long as we're clear, this is about you drawing the line and saying, I can't proceed through the game without doing this. Not because the game is unfair or unbalanced, but because you concede that your skills are insufficient to proceed without doing this first.
I do still want to complain about the game being unbalanced. I grant that this is me not having the skills that the game really wants me to have. But I do want to complain about balance specifically because, well, to be perfectly honest, the whole reason why I'm doing this grinding is effectively for exactly one upcoming boss. I don't need this power up that I'm getting for most of the rest of the game, but I like having it because it is just straight up the best damaging directional spell that I have for a majority of the game at this point. And I like having that amount of power as something that I can back up on.
Yes, many tales were told similarly from the Bog of Butthurt in Dark Souls 3. You can grind as many as 1,000 souls in a single trip as long as you remember to return at the Buttfire.
Of course, 1,000 souls in Dark Souls is just, you know, not exactly a significant amount of power.
Hey man, grinding got me through Dark Souls 1. I had to grind up 50 levels just so I could hang for the rest of the game, and I barely made it through the final boss.
How many takes did you actually have on Gwyn?
Oh Jesus Christ! At least 20. At least 20.
We got our first Sinister Skull. Please note that we've been here for like a good 4 minutes now, and we got one.
Got any
I jump cut the rest of the grinding away.
Here's what I've turned.
Oh, are we gonna kill those murderers dead?
Here's your reward.
Yes, yes, we killed the shield outsider enough to you know, get all to satisfy that particular quest. Now go over to Enhanced Shard, do Directional and Inferno Breath. Plug these Sinister Skulls into the Inferno Breath Shard, and booyah! We now have a it's grade 4, right? No, it's rank 4. Yeah, we have a rank 4 Inferno Breath. And also, since we have a bunch of silver, we're gonna actually spend some time to upgrade our silver.
Yay.
I'll go with this.
But we don't have the mithril in order to expand it anymore. We also need to go get the monster bird hair eventually, but I do think that I don't show off the farming for the monster bird hair.
Well, we'll be ready for it in any case.
Yeah.
If you ever encounter a demon named Bale,
Johannes, this is a massive spoiler. You're not supposed to tell us that.
Well, so that when we do see this name Bale after 2 hours of forgetting, there's a chance we'll say, oh my god, I should, what was it? Have fun? Be done?
Be safe,
Send
everybody.
chum?